Hi guys, my name is John Turanu. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, working with the Random Hacks of Kindness team. 4 other people, Ben Shimkin, John Pipitone, Jason Montojo, and Stu Bazadin. Our project is dealing with the problem of bike theft. Every year there's a lot of bicycles stolen, and unfortunately most of those bikes are resold. They're not stolen by people who will then ride them. They're resold to unwitting customers. There's currently a police registry that keeps track of bicycle serial numbers and which ones are stolen. Unfortunately, very few people know about it, and fewer people yet report their thefts on there. And the biggest problem is that if you're looking to go and buy a used bike, you have no way of really checking if that bike is stolen or if it's a legitimate sell. So what we're trying to do is come up with a very dead simple, easy to use method of checking the stolen status of a bike you're thinking of buying. There is currently a database called the CPIC database that's Canada-wide that tracks stolen bicycle serial numbers. And what we're trying to do is come up with a really easy to use mobile application that you can use on any phone to type in the serial number of the bike that you're looking at buying. So someone tries to sell you a bike, say, hey, I want to check if this bike is stolen, look at the serial number, type it in here, and it'll tell you if it's hot, if it's stolen, or if it's a legitimate bike. We want to make this really, really easy. So the current systems right now are designed for the police to use. We want this to be available, to be visible, and to work on any smartphone platform. So what we've done is created a really clean, minimalistic web app. Eventually we'll be doing, or we'd like to be doing, smartphone applications that work natively, but for the time being it's just a web app. It's accessible at isthisbikestolen.com, and it's already partly working. Here's an example. Is this bike stolen? I typed in a serial number, I hit search, and it tells me eventually that this bike is stolen. It's a silver Carrera with a serial number, 24 speeds, and the model Vertigo 6000. So already you have a lot of information about the bike. You can tell that person, I'm not going to buy it. The next steps, what we really want to add to this is a way to report not only that you've seen a stolen bike, but some more descriptions about it. Maybe the person who's trying to sell it to you, this shifty looking fellow in a black hoodie, or maybe some more information if you have it. The location where this person is trying to sell it to you, some more information. Send it off to the police as an anonymous tip, and then they can go on it and hopefully catch the person. There's a few future things we're looking at as well. Right now it plugs in directly to a Canadian national database, which unfortunately is only updated every 1 to 2 weeks. And some of the serial numbers in that are not that fresh. So if it's stolen, you only get to know this after a week or 2 weeks. It's not updated immediately. We want to plug in directly to the Toronto Police database and as many other national police forces as possible. And we want to do the direct reporting. So make it easy using this app. You don't have to go to an external system, you don't have to call anybody, do it directly through the app so that you can report that you've come across a stolen bike. So that's basically what we're doing, and thank you for your time.
So there's a database out there that nobody knows about, the CPIC database that has serial numbers of all kinds of stolen goods. It's not a very open database, but so a couple of the guys created a Python script to just scrape the data from the search. Awesome. Did I lose my internet connection? Trust me, it works.
So we imagine this being used, you go to buy a bike and you just punch in the serial number and then it reports back to you whether this bike is being reported as stolen or not. And as well, we've included some instructions on how to register the bike once you've bought it, sort of thing, or actually go to the police and report it as stolen, or what to do about it if you found a stolen bike that's being sold.
Yeah. So yeah. So this is what we've built so far. Tell us a little bit more. I think what we found while doing this project was that none of the databases out there really are open enough for even the police to really get usable data, let alone to kind of source the community to try to make sense out of it. So the idea was either working with a police department or working with an organization like Toronto Cyclists Union or some sort of a national organization or international organization to create a database of not only registering bicycles before they're stolen, so we've got a registry of serial numbers, the way that the Toronto Police Department does at the moment, but also then create a reporting mechanism to say where the bikes were stolen, so we can figure out which models are being stolen, figure out where the hotspots are, etc. So that's the next.
So you mentioned that there is a database that's just not very accessible or something along those lines. What are your thoughts in terms of getting this visible so that, I mean, most people don't buy bikes very often, so they need to kind of have it top of mind when they do go to buy a bike. Mm-hmm. So just so it doesn't sort of suffer the same fate as this other database, what are your thoughts in terms of how to get it out into the cycling community, I guess?
Well, I think one of the advantages of going open would be then we can take partners like the Toronto Cyclists Union, like the local bike shops, like the cyclists themselves, versus, I don't want to say there's an adversarial relationship with the police, but there kind of is.
I think as well, you could also look at if you could scale the size of the database enough, you could look at reaching out to groups like Craigslist and Kijiji to either get some sort of integration or warnings. Like, could you have this bike is verified as not stolen when you're looking at a bike on Craigslist? Mm-hmm. I was wondering, you mentioned that there's actually it's part of a database of just stolen goods in general. Mm-hmm. Could this app be abstracted out to, is this camera stolen? Is this laptop stolen? That sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anything with a serial number, basically. Anything with
a serial number.
Yeah.
Wow.
The trick with saying something is not stolen is that this database, first of all, it has to be reported as stolen.
Yeah.
So and the database that we're working on is only updated once a week. So if it was stolen and then you go and buy it 2 days later, there's going to be no possible way you could tell. Even the police couldn't tell. So.
Interesting. Well, I hope you guys continue to work with the people who provide those databases, both in terms of the scope and the scale, and also how often they refresh it.
Yeah, actually, and that's one of the other sort of like goals with this project is that we can make it sort of an app that people, like, it's sexy enough, people want to use this sort of thing. We can then go to the police and say, like, okay, we want more of this. We want you to add all these features. And
Great. Great. Thanks, guys.